sounds like it's been a positive, 3 or 4 days for our next guest who's making his debut on this show. And obviously we were introduced to him for the most part on Thursday night. The Raptors took him with the 13th overall pick. He flew up, I think, the next day. He's been all over town. He was down at the Jays game over the weekend, introduced today, and, again, making his debut here on OverDrive. The newest Raptor joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline. Here is Gradey Dick. Gradey, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
We're doing really well, man. How are you getting acclimated to Toronto? How are you finding the city?
Oh, it's been easy, but I love it. It seems like 2-3 days, couple little walks with my parents, and just taking it all in. Meeting really nice people and eating at some good spots. So it's been great.
Yeah, we saw you down at the Jays game over the weekend. We've got a theme on the show. We break down first pitches all the time, and I don't believe you threw out the first pitch. But I'm curious. Okay, how do you think that would go for you? Like, if you got offered to throw out the first pitch, would you have declined that invitation or taken it up?
Oh, I would take it. I used to play baseball. So
okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
So you think you'd throw a strike?
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right, because if you don't, man, just to break this down, it could have got ugly on this show. Like, we're hoping you're a great Raptor, but if you don't throw out a good first pitch, man, you might have taken some heat here. And
no, don't have to worry about that.
Okay. Well, you mentioned, you're an athlete growing up, obviously coming out of Kansas, and everyone buzzing about your ability to shoot the ball. But I'm curious what other part of your game or other parts of your game you think should be getting more love right now.
Yeah, I'm just excited to go out there and just show my overall versatility with the spacing of the NBA floor compared to college. Where I'm allowed to do that, and with the open floor, just if I've made a couple of threes, a couple of shots, kind of get the defense in the air with the pump fake or something, and that allows me to kind of go to the rim and then show the athleticism, around the rim, above the rim, everything like that I can kind of provide for a team.
Gradey, I'm sure they didn't want to overwhelm you with that stuff. They wanted to welcome you to the city, let you walk around with your parents, do whatever you got to do. But how much kind of X's and O's were talked about? What your role is going to be? Where, when do they want you back? Go home, spend the summer. But how much of that was talked about, different things on the court and actual basketball stuff instead of seeing the city?
Yeah, the main thing is just kind of seeing the faces behind the names and different things like that. Going to dinner with the new coach Darko and the staff and all that good stuff. But I think the kind of cool part of it was we're doing all that, but at the same time we're still getting work in with Coach Darko, personally on the court, putting me and Marquise through a workout and different things like that. So it's kind of cool when you have a head coach that goes out there and does that and takes kind of priority in that and just kind of trying to build a team off early, and definitely allows me, coming in as a rookie, to kind of see that and just build a really good culture all the way around.
Grady, what current or former player do you idolize or model your game after?
I've talked a lot about, I like to watch a lot of old film and just highlights of Reggie Miller, his mechanics, the way he moves around the court, and guys if you're a good shooter or you want to be a good shooter, definitely watch Steph, one of the best to ever do it. And then, more of my game and kind of my body type. I watched a lot of Klay Thompson. And just, the way they use really kind of the fundamentals of shooting. Like I said, the way they move around the ball, and then just their conditioning really underrated, that I'm doing a lot of in these workouts of just running up and down the court, getting exhausted, but still shooting a high volume of shots.
So you're out there on the court with the coach, Darko. How did you find a way to be comfortable doing that? I would imagine after all that's gone on, it's a busy week, just to feel kind of relaxed and normal and just let your talent kind of come through, because nobody in that situation wants to make a bad first impression. What were your nerves like in that situation?
There's no really any nerves. I mean, it's all really just excitement and just the excitement of being out in a new city and for a new NBA team, and kind of just realizing, this is my goal and this is my dream to do this, and I'm finally here. And at the end of the day, just reminding myself it's basketball. It's the same game I've been playing since I was little. So just going out there and trying to just show Coach Darko and show the team, what I can provide, and kind of that selfless behavior of just kind of, as I was talking about with Coach Darko, just trying to build that culture and foundation, early to really have that team when they come in to, kind of bring us together and hit the ground running.
We're chatting with Gradey Dick. So the Raptors end up taking you at 13. So now we look back on it. Clearly, you were very high on their list. But throughout the process, the combine, the interviews, the season, did you have any inclination to believe that the Raptors, if you were there at 13, they were going to take you?
A little bit. I mean, I had a workout with them like a week and a half before then. So they were one of my last workouts last city. I got to visit and just, talking with them. Actually working with Coach Darko back then too when he first got in, and so a little bit, but it was kind of funny, when they selected. Usually you might get like a call or agent might get a call and they let you know kind of beforehand what the time's on the clock, and I didn't get any of that. So that's just kind of after talking to them, that's kind of their way of trying not to let anything get out, and that's just what they've always done. So I didn't really, get anything till, the time ran out, and then some cameras started coming to my table. I was like, oh, this might be me. And then said my name, and I was beyond grateful, and all that. Those raw emotions came out.
Right. Well, in terms of the way the Raptors operate, have they indicated to you that that's how you're supposed to operate now too?
As in what?
Be careful what you say, maybe don't leak stuff, like how that's kind of, like you said, they operate differently than other teams. Nothing gets out.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of marching orders have come from the team on that front?
Yeah, I think that was just like their own kind of personal, the way of things they did with the draft. But I mean, the thing I love the most about them is they welcome that. They welcome the kind of personality of knowing when to, because I mean, you saw my suit and stuff like that, of just having fun with it. Guys like Scotty, and I mean, they love personalities, but they also love times you need to lock in, and it's easy to on the court because I mean, at the end of the day, as I was talking about earlier, it's the same game we've been playing since we were little, so we know how to be competitive and all that good stuff. But I think it's the thing I like the most too is I'm out here being myself and just having a really good time, and I feel like when I'm doing that, that's when I'm at my best. And I'm being around guys like Scotty that have that kind of fun personality, kind of really just brings the room up, and really it builds that team chemistry really, really quick. And I'm excited to kind of get around those guys and start that off right after that.
You brought up the suit. It certainly made a stir. Take us through the thought process. We were talking before you came on. Was this like a 2-month in the making type of thing, custom situation? Like, did you know you wanted to make a splash that way? And what's been the reaction to it?
Yeah, so I think just leading up to it, it wasn't really a 2-month thing where I knew exactly it was that red one, but it was definitely beforehand. My thought process of being, this is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime type night. This suit is never going to be worn by me ever again. Someone wore it one time, I might as well go out with it. So that was kind of the thought process behind that. I just had to find something that could kind of, make some noise, and found that. And then actually came and read and saw that and got the idea of the Dorothy slippers and her being from Kansas, me being from Kansas. So it's kind of a good kind of story to tell and a way to kind of tie it back to home, kind of cool things like that.
Gradey, you've kind of set yourself up as a social media darling, the TikTok videos, everybody's talking about that. Are you under the gun to continue the content, or will it slow down? Will it speed up? How is that social media game going to play in the NBA, or is anything going to change with that?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's always going to be natural. I mean, there's nothing I'm forcing. I'm not getting out of a day a workout or something to be I need to post 4 different things to try to save
I hope not.
Yeah, no, that would be.
That's not going to fly.
Yeah, that's the negative part of social media, and that's what I understand. And social media went away, and I had all my accounts got blocked. I would not care at all because I just love living life, and I have the personality to just go out there and have a good time. And with anything I do in any environment I'm at, and that's why I love Toronto so much, is because I'm out here in such a beautiful, clean city, and I could go and just walk and see the views of this city just 24/7. So it has nothing to do with social media, but it definitely is just a platform to kind of show my personality even more. So it can be positive in that note, but understanding the negative, effects of it is equally, as important. And I get that. And I also know like when when the time is to be a little goofy and when the time is to really lock in. And so that's obviously just.
How's the follower count going? You blowing up since draft night and getting up to Toronto or what?
Yeah, it's been crazy. I haven't even looked at it, but I think one night it was 70K.
Whew. I heard Drake gave you a follow. Is that true or what?
Yeah, he did.
Ooh, that's a big one, man.
Yeah.
That's a mic drop.
Yep. The best rapper out.
Yep, that's for sure. Well, listen, congrats on obviously getting picked and welcome to town and enjoy the rest of the summer. We'll catch you a lot in the fall. So we appreciate you finding time for us today. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Thank you.